Pick a card, your elephant message. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you at your reading. Hi friends, my name is Grisel with Psychic MD, and I want to welcome you to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. Those of you that are new, welcome, welcome. Hope you find everything that you anticipate. And for those of you that are repeat offenders, thank you so much for stopping in. This is going to be the portion of intention and selection. So, we do play with fire on occasion. We're going to go a little bit of clearing here. Prior to getting started, it was kind of interesting. I had no idea that we're going to be doing an elephant reading. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it just yet. But I happened upon this little guy here yesterday. And I happened and chance upon a little ring. And all of a sudden I was like, hey, I'd made a bracelet, so why not? That's why we're here. Well, that's not exactly why, but here we go. You can skip this part if you'd like and go directly to the picture. Oh my goodness. Okay. So the first one that jumped out for pile 1 is going to be hearing. That's interesting. Alertness. So we are going to explore this card right here. Very beautiful. And I meant to show you, of course, they're elephant cards. But that one just flew out, wanting to make itself known. Okay. Calm down. Pile number 2. I'd like a card for pile number 2, please. Language. Watch your language. Language. Okay. And pile 3. No, definitely not. Absolutely not. We are simply taking 1. Pile 3. You got a lot of things going on here. Okay. Individuality. Okay. So take a peek at all 3 cards. And yes, I'll leave a little picture of them. And I will see you at your pile. Pile 1, hearing, 2, language, and 3, individuality. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to my channel. If you missed it, my name is Grisel with Psychic MD. If you didn't miss it, still the same name. Haha. Hopefully you guys are all doing super well. Just want to get a little bit of sagey sage going. Let's move this bad boy here. Because why not? You chose hearing with alertness. Pile number 1. Show me why this card is here. For the collective, please, that chose pile number 1 with alertness. I'm seeing a big sunflower, and I see a hand actually writing on top of the sunflower. So I feel like what this is stating is that you have something to write that's divinely ordained, that's divinely given to you by your higher self. Probably a book or a chapter or something of worth that you've been keeping under lock and key, let's say. What else is here? Why is this card here? For the collective, please. Contemplation. What did I tell you? Did you see me mixing the cards on camera? Probably not, but anyways, check out this person right here. They are actually sketching, drawing, maybe filling in the details. It could even be paint by numbers. Who knows, right? It could be stippling for all I know, making little dots and making them into an image. But the point of the matter is that this person is engrossed, entrenched into their project with Eloise. So there's something to be contemplated about. And I feel like this is going to be music to someone's ears or music to your ears. This could also be stating that whatever you have to produce currently, even if you've already written it, I feel like this has to do with giving back to the world, giving back to community, or giving back to people that are like you. whatever this is, it's very much needed in the world today. Interesting that the hearing is here. Okay, so maybe you guys are in some form of like litigation or having to undergo some kind of a hearing. Maybe this is stating that you have to get all your ducks in a row into alignment in order to transform this this thing, whatever this thing is, in court, right? So I'm presuming that if you're going to court, you're going to want things to go in your favor, obviously. So there is a need to be alert during your hearing, but also to be prepared to make sure that everything does paint the right picture. Obviously, in the 3D world today, much can be, I heard, mitigated. Well, that is true. Much can also be simulated, faked, and manipulated. So let's see what else we have going on here. Pile number 1. This is going to come about with a swiftness, and I feel like you're going to be a little bit unprepared for what transpires. There's going to be a lot of dots that connect, maybe a lot of people chiming in, maybe other people. If you do have a court hearing, it's not for everybody, obviously, but if you happen to have like a court hearing, there's going to be a lot of birdies having to do with the issue. And that could be quite unnerving sometimes because, you know, people just got to chime in. This guy's sticking out, so we're going to take it wisdom. So I feel like whatever this is also, you have a lot of wisdom, and it's thinly veiled. Her mouth, like everything is a little bit veiled, a little bit hidden. So maybe now's going to be your time to speak, but also to know when it is to hold back, to really pause, to contemplate, to think about things, and utilize your words very carefully. I don't think that you're foolish at all. This can involve another party or another person who just wants to kick back and enjoy like the good life, right? Because, I mean, this dude looks fluffy. No offense there. I struggle with weight issues. I struggle with weight issues. Sorry. This is not supposed to be funny, but 8 issues. I mean, come on now. I feel like I need to make my own dictionary. Okay. Anyways, so this person could be like lavish, and maybe it's an opponent or somebody who just wants to kind of amuse themselves while looking at you. I don't know what this is, but you have a lot of wisdom to be able to handle the situation, right? And the number 2 right here is being echoed. And I don't want to go there. I hear Spirit saying, well, that's a pile of ish. Okay, so you could think the reading itself is a pile of ish, and that's fine, whatever. But also, I feel like it could be alluding to if you do have something that's going to court, litigation, you're trying to collect information, people are being subpoenaed, I don't know your deal, or simply needing like some records in order to present them as a testimonial in your hearing, then this could be stating that, you know, it's just a lot of ish to work through. Now, I'm going to state that this is going to transform simply because we have the mariposa right here. Why are we talking bilingual on this channel? All of a sudden, I have no idea, but here we are. So there's going to be a lot of transformations in this case, in this thing. Now, for others of us that don't really resonate with this, I'm going to say that this has a lot to do with what it is that you're writing, what it is that you're birthing. And I feel like this has been of long, like of old. And whenever I think of elephants, I think of like memory. They have great memory. Now, we also know that, especially with one elephant who apparently had her baby taken away or killed. I don't remember quite how the story went, but something had happened to an elephant's baby. And the women affiliated with that scene, that ordeal, was pursued and trampled on. And then when she herself wound up having her funeral, the elephant traveled miles to find out where the funeral was and proceeded to trample on the casket and cause all sorts of hell. Can't blame the elephant at all. Yeah, why I told that story, I have no idea, but here we are. So we have something transpiring really quickly. I feel like if you start speaking your truth, people will also start hearing you, okay? There is something about the way that you have stored information, especially with the elephant, the way that has come through for this pile in particular. I feel like it is time to let it out, to kind of be recognized for the talents that you have. And I heard the word finally. So this could be something that, again, if you know, you know. This will resonate already. And if it does not, this is simply not your pile. we've got the Prince of Coins. This is something that, wow, the Sacred Heart, that is so cool. So I'm going to tell you that this has something to do with being able to produce more of a financial thing for yourself, like more money. And I think that you're going to be able to start seeing the fruits of your labor. It'll be quickly that it manifests, but it's also, it'll present itself quickly. But then I feel like there's some stuff that you need to finish up. Like you have the heart, the body to the whole thing, maybe the manuscript or whatever you're writing, or it could be a theater production or whatever it is that you're launching. Okay. But it is definitely a creative thing. And I feel like you have most of it kind of hammered out, but it needs to be cleaned up. Maybe go to an editor, maybe polished up, spruced up a little bit. And maybe if you're like myself, I can't seem to produce an end to it. So it seems like, okay, I have the beginning, the middle, and a rough, I mean, it's pretty cohesive, but the very end part, I'm like, do we have to end it? And then I'm like, yep, I'm going to start a new project. Here we go. So I have quite a few writings myself in this condition. But then we have, okay, Penelope and Odysseus with justice right here. And this is laboring into the night, a labor of love. This is a pattern perhaps though, that is saying that you need to break in order to be heard, for your voice to be heard, for things to kind of develop quickly. You have to kind of address this part of yourself that you likely don't want to, just like me, right? So we have the Nine of Arrows. And why would we have that? Simply because we know that it causes us some stress. I mean, anything that's a mental block, emotional block, a block to our creativity winds up being something that we don't really want to face, but that keeps us up at night anyways for some reason. But you have all the wisdom in the world to be able to take this on, all the clarity as well. And I'm seeing like this angel is actually handing you some clarity in the middle of the night. You can have a dream that can wrap it all up. And once again, I'm not sure why I'm sharing this, but last night I was watching a Netflix show about the lady who did Frankenstein, Mary Shelley. And that was kind of interesting about her life, supposedly. Now, I'm not sure how accurate that is, but I feel like, this is about her getting all the parts together in the same way, similar fashion. This is about you getting your parts together, being heard and being understood, especially being heard by people who would understand you and be able to make this happen. And what this is a new beginning for you. This wanted to come out. What the heck? Ace of Arrows. Listen, pile number one, you have whatever it takes to make this transpire, whatever. This is not like a new thing. This is from these are old projects, old poems, old storylines. Maybe you want to write a manuscript. Maybe you want to present your thing to like Hollywood for some kind of a show or kids show or a movie or a docuseries. Whatever this is, I feel like continue production on it, pick it up, polish it off, dust it off, get the help that you need, and make it happen because the time is now. This is a clarity that you're gaining, but also this is clarity that you're giving to other people. And the reason why it's important, pile number one, this isn't just for you. You may feel like it's just for you. You may stress about not having the resources, the ability to be able to make this happen, whatever this is. But I'm here to say that that is not true at all, because you were given this divine wisdom. And I feel like this involved hearing, like you could be clairaudient, but a lot of this was divinely inspired. And I'm even looking at a tree right now, just kind of channeling. And I see kind of like a girl in a dress. And this is, I don't read sex, I read energy. But I feel like you are kind of hurling. It's almost like mazel tov. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on here, but you could be a little bit prim and proper, or someone who doesn't throw shade at anyone. But for whatever reason, these things need to come out. They need to be seen and they need to be sworn. So that last word I heard and I just repeated. And again, this could have somebody going to jail, somebody going into litigation, somebody going to court. Most of all, I feel like you have grace about it. And I feel like you'll have great peace. Look at how polar opposite these things are. And I feel like maybe if this is something that has been carried on from long ago, like childhood or some kind of trauma from way back when, or even recent, it doesn't make a difference. I feel like you are being soothed by an angel. And that angel is here to say, I'm going to give you the final piece to the puzzle. And as much as you've worried, I know that you've worried and experienced a lot of angst, a lot of darkness, a lot of sleepless nights, and anxiety that still clouds your mind and affects you today. But I'm here to give you the final arrow in order for you to be able to launch this project, this thing, whatever this thing is. And in that, you'll complete the series of 10 arrows. And 10 is all about an ending. With every ending, there's always a new beginning. And that's always a promise. You can't, it's like a circle of life. You can't end something without a new beginning, one way, shape, or another. I should present this way because that's how they came out. And I feel like during this might cause trauma for other people. I don't think that that's your intent, but I feel like whatever it is that you have to say, this is almost like Pandora's box. When they open it up, the only thing left is love in that box. Is it hope? Oh God, Chriselle. I think it's hope, but I don't remember now. So we're going to have to look at that and get our facts straight. It was hope or love. But whatever that is, whatever's in your Pandora's box, I think that that's what's going to serve to release you from all of this energy that you've carried thus far. And you will sleep like a baby. Much peace will come to you. This is Sacred Heart, meaning it's divinely ordained. It is gifted from you from above, your higher self. Whatever the case may be, like spirit animals, I don't know what it is that you believe in, but I feel like it's going to give you a lot of rest, all right? So even if you self-publish, publish with a company, whatever you decide to do here, I feel like the ultimate success is that you will have peace. In that peace, others will find themselves in a not so peaceful situation. This can honestly involve like some arrests on, I don't know, other people here. Because I looked down, I saw oppression here. Dido, oppression. I think this is a Tower card, but look at all the emotions back here. Look at that Tower. And if I remember this story, this is where her lover decides to leave and she lights up a pyre, is that pyre? Like a funeral pyre thing, and just kind of sits in it and burns. But I could have my facts not totally 100% on that. Anyways, you are not lighting your own self on fire for anyone else anymore. That's why the Tower's coming down anyways, right? And I think that all was designed to come out. Other people have really, for many, many years, sought to keep you oppressed, keep your voice oppressed, keep the facts out of public knowledge, public view. The cracks are showing just as good as the cracks are showing on my desk. And now we have the Three of Coins. It is time to build again, but you're going to have a lot of help. And this is you with the Sacred Heart. You're going to provide window into other people's souls, but also vision as far as what transpired to other people. I feel like that's something that you don't even want now. It's almost saying like this could be for somebody who was essayed from a long time ago or experienced some kind of mental, emotional, spiritual abuse, right? But I feel like you don't even want this. You're kind of like, I just want to move on with myself. But you carry a seed of sadness there that has been, it could be like a depression from a long time. And the reason for that is that this needs to come to light. So, and yes, I understand that people have chemical imbalances and that whole 9 yards. I get that. But this is there of long ago for a reason. It has served to even kind of hide away all of this greenery has hidden away a lot of things. In the dark that is meant to be brought to light. And wow, this, I don't even know how those got on top of this desk while I was mixing, and they were the only ones turned up. So this is you coming back to yourself so that you'll receive cooperation in this endeavor, this creative endeavor that is going to help people to hear you. They're going to also be able to, I feel like you're going to be able to help other people hear their own voice through your lips, through your words, through your art, through your television series, whatever this thing is. And I feel like it will be incredibly embraced. I feel like people look at you and you will serve as a mirror, but this time a welcome mirror, a mirror for those that have been oppressed in the past. And I feel like the other side of the coin is finally flipping. Not that we're here to seek revenge, but we are, or retribution, honestly, and maybe some of y'all are. I don't condone that energy because I just feel like it's just not a good thing. But I feel like just simply speaking your truth and having, that project out in the open will take care of the rest. You don't need to worry about where the chips fall. They're going to fall where they fall. They land where they land. But I feel like you will be embraced by the public if this is something that is brought out into the public. So that is what I have for you. And I'm very intrigued. So if this is you, drop a line, let me know. But stay alert for opportunities. Stay alert for everything that you need to gather and glean. But you do have a spirit of cooperation, with spirit being 100% behind you. Much love to you. If you're liking these kind of reads, please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. And as usual, till next time, much love to you. Namaste. Hi, pile number 2. My name is Crystal with Psychic MD. If you missed the intro, still the same name if you didn't. I can't help but think that every time somebody says it. So here we are. If you chose a language with articulation, pile number 2, this reading be for you. We're going to get a little bit of sagey sage going on here. And it was pretty intense. Pile number 1 was pretty intense. So we're trying to just clear out all that energy so we can have clean, fresh, new energy for you. You chose articulation with the word language. Those of you new to my channel, welcome, welcome. Consider subscribing, or at least dropping a line and tell me what you'd like to see next. And for those of you that are repeat offenders, thank you so much for stopping in. Now, I can't help but notice this bird with the telephone here. Let's see if we can. Dun, 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 dun. And I've been like very sing-songy since, I don't know, since I chose this deck. It's kind of interesting. I don't sing whatsoever. But look at this bird. It's like this bird is ready for a phone call. Maybe perhaps you're ready for a message, or somebody is thinking about messaging you. You could be courted together with the number 35. 3 is cooperation. Spirit of cooperation, right? Cooperation. I'm also feeling there is a reference about this communication. We'll find out a little bit more. I would like to know why this card is here. I feel like these are elephant messages. Yep. So why is this card here for pile number 2? Pile number 2. Why is this card here for you, please? Queen of Arrows. Are we a little bit of a baddie? Are we kick ass and take numbers later? What's going on with that? Yeah, 6 of Arrows. Okay. This could be a communication with somebody that you've cut off, or they have cut you off, or you've been in separation for a long, long time. Now, what's interesting about this 6 of Arrows is that typically, traditionally, I should say, all of the arrows get stuck in the boat, and there is somebody ferrying a mother and a child, presumably, to the other side, where the waters are calmer, where things are still, where there's not that much drama and trauma, right? But on this one, see if we can get that clear. Yep. We have this lady kind of ferrying herself. In fact, she must have, I don't know, some kind of motor we're not aware of here, but it's beside the point. Now I have this arrow right here, and it almost appears like she's ready to drop that arrow. Now, I don't know what this is. This appears like, okay, I'm taking all of my experiences with me, which would be arrows. Taking all communication with me because I moved to calmer waters. But it seems like this is where she arrived, in calm waters already. And she's ready to drop this arrow. And arrows to me, again, are communication. It could be intelligence, but this is like, I have no need to communicate. There's nothing to talk about. I have found peace, and I'm here to embrace it, and I'm not allowing people to disrupt my peace. So that's something that somebody could be saying. I feel like that's more you than anyone else. And I feel like here with the Venus card, Queen of Arrows, this could be stating, well, you know, I'm still thinking about my security. Almost looks like a pumpkin, frankly. But then I have stormy clouds right here. And this queen doesn't really seem at peace. This queen is in repose, but indeed appears to be ready for war if needed. I'd like to know why. Why are these cards here, plans? If you're in separation, one person wants to talk and is ready to fight. The other one wants nothing to do with it. Why are these cards here for pile 2, please? And this could be romantic, non-romantic, innocence. Well, that hardly looks innocent. I mean, if I take you out, okay, so it's mist. Maybe it's mist. But Griselle, she already sees water. I'm like, if I take you out in the middle of water where it's like churning and the water's frothy and dangerous, right? And the undertow is likely and you're totally blindfolded, dangerous. But that's not the case at all. So it appears right now that this is playing music in order to lure people in. This is an age of innocence. This is looking before you leap. But right here, I feel like follow the tune of your own heart, follow the beat of your own drum. This has similar to the star vibes, where with the star, this is a star in my estimation, my analysis anyways, is a star being released from the lantern that the hermit had taken. So when the star is released, this is like following your true north, your North Star. And here, this is following the lure of that innocence. So maybe you have taken a leap into something that is different, right? And the mist is a little bit into the unknown, trusting spirit. And the 8 of Staves, like this happened quickly, maybe even suddenly. But it's definitely a move. And you moved, I feel like you moved lightly, because with the Fool card here being represented by this couple, which is kind of interesting, I feel like that is spirit leading you. Spirit leading the way. It's not like you took a lot with you. The 4 of Coins. This is stating, I'm okay with not communicating. This is almost like watching someone longing for them to communicate. With the 3 of Pentacles, this is about cooperation. 3 of Coins. Look at the coins. They're so pretty here. But the 3 would be like cooperation. Maybe all of the cogs working together. And yet, this one, she is holding the 4th one on her lap. This is like, I am not speaking. I'm not communicating. There's no need for it. And yet you have a ghost behind you that's eyeballing you, right? Somebody's like, how come you're not talking to me? How come you're not speaking to me? How come you're not doing all the things, right? That they expect. And it has to do with language, articulation. So let's see why this is. Let's see if we can get it to, why are most of you guys not talking? Why is this separation here, please? I'd like to see, why is this separation here? Oh, that one wanted to pop. Fertility. Cleopatra and Caesar. That's interesting. This could have to do, because she's, looks like she's pregnant right here, and obviously the word. But this is the Empress card. This could be a mother, or this could be a situation where somebody is a mother, like, you know, baby daddy's other. I mean, I have no idea what's going on here. You have a ton of animals and whatnot with fertility. But this is saying, you know, somebody that is well within their own role. So she seems to be supported by this masculine here. Presumably Caesar depicted. And Cleopatra is just holding her own. So she's on the throne saying, I'm the mother, that kind of a thing. You could have a break in communication with a mother. Why are these cards here, please? Oops, hold on. Dun, dun, dun. And actually, I had a couple of cards fly out. Okay. Fortune. So maybe you left the situation, you left, could have been, I mean, no judgment here, you know, somebody left their kid and the mother, their kid, whatever that is, or it could be your own mom, that situation. And so I feel like there's an angel saying, hey, you know, you've been singing the same song and dance for a long time. Do you want something different? Do you want to move to calmer waters? It could happen quickly. And you pursued a different fortune, a different path. You pursued a place where there's more peace, more adventure in the fact that there would be a different story to be told, and definitely a different fortune. I feel like a glow up in a lot of ways. Now these were the cards, two cards that jumped out when I put the deck down. And this is a casualty, okay? Casualty card number 36. So we have 35, 36. Look at these cards. Tell me they're not amazing. But the message from this pile, you know, it's like somebody wants a reason, they want language, they want communication. And with the bat being depicted right here, it's like we're moving, making moves in silence, making moves quietly, and really embracing our own hearing, our sonic hearing and things like that. But there's not a lot of outside communication. It's you communing with spirit. That's what I have thus far. And then concentrativeness, we have focus, prolixity, distractedness. So maybe this move is helping you to focus. Yeah, with the number 5, I almost feel like these are a lot of changes that you've made. The number 5 being reflected here. A lot of changes that you have made thus far in order to promote growth, in order to promote a different story. I feel like you were kind of landlocked and locked into a narrative or a situation where nothing was changing. Things were always the same. It was the same story, the same narrative, the same book being told over and over and over. And you simply wanted out. Okay. Show me what I need to see. The best case scenario. The best way to, I guess, handle this. Mitigate the situation. I did hear that pop. The 9 of Staves. So this is remain on your post. I want to say remain defensive. You have, I don't know if you could see this. Let's see if we can get closer. You have a pair of lovers right here, right? Behind the scenes. And this is just kind of like doing your own thing. I almost feel like the guts. This is the guts to grow things that you love, and you're protecting that, right? I feel like you were supported by Mother Nature, by angels around you, and I feel like you could feel that. So you might be living somewhere where there's a lot of nature, or you might love nature and things like that. And you could feel angelic presence as well. But this is saying, yes, definitely, just like any house has walls. Why would it have walls? You know, keeping out the elements, yes, but also keeping in the good stuff and keeping out the bad stuff. So walls and barriers are definitely not a bad thing. We have illusion here. Maybe somebody was under illusion, or maybe they depicted an illusion. Okay, that makes sense. And then we have the 5 of Cups. So this person can be under some kind of like, maybe they thought that they were part of this whole thing. I mean, look at all of these like white birds, animals. What are they? Doves? Are they swans? Are they geese? I don't know. But regardless, I feel like there was a great illusion, and this geese, I don't know, thought they were part of it, but they're not. It's like one of these things is not like the other. And there's a lot of like mourning and sorrow and like wishing that things were different. This is called crying over spilt milk traditionally. And yet we have these little 3 little lights right here in the tower being referenced in the castle. So I would suggest that you go look at pile number 1, because I definitely feel like there's a connection right there. It would give you a little bit more insight if that is resonating with you. But I feel like somebody was under some kind of an illusion. Let's get more about this. What kind of illusion? What kind of illusion was this person under, please? Why are these cards here? Okay, they had the illusion that everything was fine between you, that things were well, that they could really, I feel like that they could really do nothing wrong. Let me just, and that's what I heard actually. I'd like to know a little bit more about this. Why are these cards here? For pile 2. Let me look. Pineapple, reconciliation. Yeah, they want the reconciliation. We know that. Torch, spiritual development, enlightening awareness, and understanding. And I feel like that's what's lacking. Is this something that was missing? Okay, this person could be born in January, or January could have something to do with it. Also, if you look at this, I feel like this is a spirit of deceit because we have this face and a long old nose like Pinocchio. So I feel like this is saying this person is a liar. They're born in January, or something about January you were lied to or lied about or lied on, that kind of a thing. So that could be of some importance. What else is going on here? Nest. An emotionally secure, loving family is important to you. And I feel like that's why you moved on. So if this family, you know, wasn't that and they were just putting on an illusion, you decided to seek the real thing. Disappointment in a friend or a lover. Yeah. So the Five of Cups also can signify disappointment. What else? Broken ring, parting of the ways in either romance or business. I feel like that already happened for a lot of you. And this is a general reading, so I think that this isn't getting, yeah, it's caused a lot of anxiety. I feel like it's caused you anxiety, but I feel like this is a direct connection also to pile number 1. If you want more in-depth knowledge as to the whys this transpired, then the 9 of Arrows. Whether this is a lover or not, you're up late at night, unable to sleep. It consumes your mind. I feel like you need more clarity, and an angel is about to give it to you. Okay, that sounded really weird the way I said it. That's not. An angel is about to give it to you. Oh my gosh, Grisel. Okay, and final thoughts for this pile, please. Yeah, a lot of fighting and a lot of balance. So I feel like maybe where you have left or what you're trying to leave was just a lot of fighting, and usually with the 5 of Staves, it's not about like trying to hurt anyone deliberately, but it's competition. It's hidden competition. It's somebody that feels competitive energy with you. And I feel like this would be you. You're just trying like, okay, well, why are you coming at me? Why are you doing this? And even with the lies right here. So there could have been a lot of lying, a lot of manipulation going on here. And that was part of the reason you went to seek calmer waters elsewhere and maybe even have a family elsewhere. But the balance card is coming out for you. So I feel like you are balancing yourself first and then your atmosphere, your life thereafter. That comes later. So we balance within as above, so below. So within, not without, but that gets reflected on the outside. I hope that made sense. So, much love to you. If it did, give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Until next time, namaste. Hi friends, my name is Grisel with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do another pick a card reading for you, pile number 3. If you chose pile number 3, this message is for thee. We're going to get a little bit of sagey sage going on here, so we can gather a little bit of clarity on your particular situation. I'm always amazed at how the sage just burns so quickly. Yep. Pile number 3, if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping in. Hopefully you'll receive something that's helpful, enlightening, or amusing. But I hope you're here to get exactly what you need. And for those of you that are repeat offenders, thank you so much for showing up. Hopefully everybody's having fun and everyone is doing well. Individuality with observation. And at first I thought these guys were ostriches, but they are not. In fact, they are beautiful little giraffes, right? The number 111. 1111 can be significant to you. I'm going to move this guy out because otherwise it's in my mouth. Pile number 3. What do we have for pile number 3? Why is this card here, please? Why is this card here for pile 3? And I'm seeing almost like a womb, almost like a mother's womb. I'm hearing the word creation. And within that mother's womb, I also see a really big, it's like a mountain. It's like a big mountain on one side of the womb. Interesting. Maybe you've had a block. Maybe you have come and traveled far and wide in search of something so that you can create something. Let's see what's going on. Why are these cards here, please? 8 of Staves, fast movement, travel. This is something, you know, a barrage of messages back and forth. Individuality. Okay. Maybe you're having fast ideas, rapid movement on something that has to do with finances, career, stability, money. This could be sensuality, planting, gardening. This could be prepping the land. This could be enjoying the soil, forestry. This could be a lot of things thus far. Pile number 3, individuality. So with the giraffes here, I think of getting things high perspective. And I feel like you're trying to gain a high perspective about your past. Once again, I'm just showing off my cards because they're so pretty. Look at the backs of them. Okay, let's look at that first. Pile 3. What? How cool is that? Yep. Elephants. Anyways, so we have individuality. We have this giraffe looking towards the left. To me, that is always a past. I feel like you're trying to gain a higher perspective. And I feel like you're very creative about it. And I feel like just the way the giraffe tend to, you know, graze, and their meals are kind of on the canopies of the trees and things like that because they have really long necks. I feel like in the same way you're able to graze from a higher perspective. Maybe you're separated from the perspective due to time, which typically, you know, the past. But some of us are so close to the past, even with time, that that could not be a thing. Regardless, I feel like you have a higher perspective of things. And that clarity is coming to you quickly, and you're able to digest things in a different manner. Now, with the future, which would be this other giraffe, I feel like you're also, observing, and you are digesting just how this could be transmuted into something that's completely different, into something that is going to be helpful, hopeful for you. And it's something that's tangible, but also something that is solid. Look, you did not look, but that's not your fault, that's mine. Look, I was mixing them off camera and I got the transformation. So that's exactly what you're trying to do, whether you know or not. Things are happening right now in order for you to go ahead and transmute this energy. So whatever it is in the past, you are really growing through it, growing from it. And this is essentially the death card, but this is needed to happen in order for you to grow and to change and to evolve. And it's happening quickly for you. So if you've been feeling kind of stagnant and things are not changing, things are not growing, or you just don't really know why all this happened and what is the point of it all, because let me tell you, I've been there too. Things are about to be pretty darn apparent for you. I feel also, pile number 3, that you could carry that lingering sadness with you. And people could just see it on your face. People could really observe it just when you're quietly doing nothing, quote unquote. Maybe you tend to even be in a party and you get in your head and you go to a place in your mind. And that place just causes you sadness. So I feel like while you're observing, other people are observing you. Okay, I don't mean that in a funny way, but I'm just saying. And looking at the camera, I'm seeing quite a few 5s. 555 was being featured a second ago. Look, more 5s. This is a need to move on, a move to grow. This card is also disappointment. This card is I have nowhere left to go. All the good times are gone. And you feel like you're only headed towards the good times that are no longer there. That was really awkward. Typically, these two are flipped to where the 3 of Cups are in the past and the 2 are in the front. But this is stating that maybe perhaps you're leaving a situation or a friendship, a job, whatever the case may be, a situation that you had a lot of good times with, okay? Now, still to your back is the 2 of Cups, stating that maybe you don't really quite see where you're headed, but you do have good times coming. It's going to be a lot about your perspective and a lot about really understanding what transpired and the ability to let go and be very, very fluid, right? I personally feel like I feel that I have a lot of dense energy and I have a hard habit of letting go of things that are just no longer serving me, no longer good for me, that kind of a thing. Ooh, look at the lighting there. I think, oh, damn it. That was kind of cool for like a second. But anyways, that lighting, Anyways, I feel pile number 3 that you have difficulty, in letting things go, and also pessimism, because if we think that we don't have any more good times coming, then that is pessimistic. There's no other way to say it. Now, pile number 3, I also can relate to that, because I almost feel like mentally, emotionally, physically even, I'm living a life of like an 80-year-old. Nothing wrong with 80-year-olds, but that's not my age, and I'm not there yet. So it's like double, almost double. So you could be feeling that way. When we feel like we have nothing to look forward to, it tends to make us like drag, lose hope. We don't feel our age. We have nothing to look forward to. I feel like that's in a funk or getting into a depression. I've struggled with depression my whole life, and that could easily remain my mindset if I let it, right? The 7 of Staves. So this is something that the lighting was perfect. Let's see if we can get it again. This is stating that you need to really defend your mind, your emotions, and I feel like you're kind of like fending off dragons. And so this is kind of interesting, because it's like the dragon is coming for you. Maybe you've been like the survivor of many different attacks, spiritual attacks, political attacks, people that once upon a time used to hang with or party with or whatever wind up attacking your character, that kind of a thing. But I do feel like you are still gaining a higher perspective. What do we have to look forward to? Why is this Ace of Coins here with the transformation, please? This is serving, 8 of Arrows. Really. Being trapped in your mind. The number 919 can have a special meaning for you. But you could be wrapped up in your head, wrapped up in things that cause you mental anguish. I don't feel like this is like physical crying. It can be. But I definitely feel like it is a lot of mental activity that you're not allowing other people to be privy to. And I feel like we need to figure out what that dragon is. Okay, the dragon is a 10 of Swords. It's a horrible ending. So what ended horribly for you that makes you not be able to move on beyond it, right? What makes you not be an observer anymore, but almost like an active participant mentally, emotionally, spiritually, because you're still undergoing this mental torture. And it leaves you in that spirit of, you know how they say, freeze, fight, or fawn. That's not sort of the order. Fawn, fight, freeze, whatever. You get the point. So I feel like we're over the time when we would fawn, and maybe we've already fled from that situation. But now we're into the freeze mode, which makes no sense, because a lot of this is in our minds and what happened, yesterday or days gone by. And it's not a judgment thing. I really struggle with this too. But we let the past taint us in such a way that we can't move forward, okay? I feel like that's the energy that I'm getting right here. Show me what I need to see. Ooh, okay. Cards are like, I'll show you. You want to see? I'll show you. Pile 3, we have, okay. I feel like I just got the smackdown from Spirit. I love it when that happens. This is Romeo and Juliet. This could have to do with your love life, with tradition, the way you see matrimony even, the way you think about love in general. This could be very old school. Like, let's say, for example, if you were raised by TV and Disney and in books like Romeo and Juliet, well, you could, first of all, with the whole TV thing, you could be thinking, well, it's got to be magical. I got to have the tingles. I got to have the butterflies going on all the time. And I just haven't met anyone since. And I'm stuck in my mind over things that transpired, over the good old times. And I feel like I can't give my heart away, those kinds of things. Or you could be on the flip side of that and think, okay, well, oh my goodness. You could be thinking that you need to be woken up by a prince or princess, or that things have to be perfect, or things have to be sterile, or things have to be exactly how you read about it in a book, and there has to be strife, there has to be drama in order to fulfill that love card, right? There has to be all of these things. I can't say that word. Is it unrequited love? But I always say it wrong, so you're welcome. But the Ten of Staves right here, this is heavy on your mind, heavy on your heart, and it impedes your ability to move forward. So Spirit is asking you to get a higher level of observation, knowing that you can transmute this energy in order to flourish, in order to grow. And even if you're partnered right now, this is stating that I feel like your partnership isn't as deep because you keep wanting to trauma bond. You keep wanting to recreate those things. It's like a yo-yo. Like we fight and then we separate and then we make up and then the sex is great and then we're on top of the world again and then we rinse and repeat all of those actions. But is that really what love is? The Seven of Coins, I feel like this is a time to really count the cost, to look at things differently, to look and see, well, is this beneficial? I mean, we rinse and repeat it so many different times. Now, I'm willing to deposit time, energy, emotion, devotion into something that's real, something that's special, something that's solid. It's not going to be all butterflies and ponytails. It's going to be, sometimes we're going to weather through tough times, and sometimes it's going to suck, and sometimes it'll feel like a burden, but I want to be near you and I'm committed, and I don't believe this Hollywood BS anyways. There's a reason why movies last for an hour and a half or two, whatever they last, right? So Seven of Coins is, are you willing to look and see if there's anyone else out there that match that energy? It can also indicate you asking or talking to your partner about that very thing and changing dynamics in your current partnership. Alrighty, we had to go there. So right now I am looking at, some crosses. And I feel like for these crosses, to me, that is my symbol, my tip to, lack of a better way of putting it, like a curse, okay? So it could be a generational curse. It could be a pattern that you've repeated throughout your lifetime, throughout your parents' lifetime, so on and so forth, but a curse nonetheless. And I feel like this is something that's allowed you not to flourish. Maybe you've pined away for something that is, that is unrealistic, where you haven't really set up boundaries and established yourself as, you know what, I am love. And things are different for everybody. No one story is the same. And if somebody shows me, because they always show you that they don't care, that they want to sleep on you perhaps, that they, want to do their own thing and they want to prowl around, then that's your answer. But there are people who are similar to you. If you were but to put time, energy, and effort, if that's something that you want, of course, you can remain a bachelor, bachelorette, spinster, whatever you want to call it, single. I don't know what we call it these days. Doesn't make a difference, but it definitely depends on how the whole experience can shade your life, can taint your life, can taint the way you think and the way you look at your current partner or your prospective potential new partners, right? Now, for some of you guys, rare, but a couple of you guys, someone literally did like a black magic spell, that kind of a thing. I even have Seven of Arrows. This is going behind someone's back. This is lying and cheating. And even the arrows, the tip of the arrows look like hearts right here. And this person's laying down leveled. So someone could have done something to really just hurt you. Could have been someone in your past, someone from your childhood, right? Someone who deliberately separated you guys. And I don't know, I kind of feel like even when dealing with things like that, and I know all of you guys don't believe in that, it's fine, but even in dealing with ill intent and separation, things like that, I feel like eventually things happen for a reason. We learn massive lessons, and we learn who to trust, who not to trust. We learn how to conduct ourselves differently, and how to hopefully not repeat cycles that are redundant. Pile number 3. What else do we need here? I feel like this message is from like the elephants from your DNA. Okay, this is memory from your DNA, and this pattern has repeated throughout history. because perhaps of your family's beauty or your family's wealth or your family's tradition. And someone literally, because what is a spell? It's spelling. It's just speaking things into existence. But you are finding the number 1717, by the way, just popped on the screen. And you're advised to be very Vulcan in nature, very balanced, right? Being able to utilize your mind more so than the emotions to balance things out. When you're feeling topsy-turvy, when you're feeling triggered, this is a time and a sign for you to stop, maybe get into nature, step into nature, ground yourself once again before continuing any endeavor. Continuing your day, continuing your partnership, whatever the case may be. But I mean, look, this person is like all dark and a bunch of flames. This person's like all watery and all light. So you can embody the two elements of spirit, like of intelligence and of emotion at once. Those two are a little bit complicated, but you could be somebody who really embodies that. Or you can embody the elements of fire, and that would be like wands and a pentacles, very grounded, very dense energy. But whatever the case is, you possess all four of the elements, and it's important that you, my friend, balance those out, because you're definitely seeking to be an individual. You are an individual, and I feel like you have, this circles back to me, because I feel creative vibes. Yeah, the Prince of Cups, and this is emotion, creativity, emotional availability, and this is a small nod to an emotional offering. Okay, the Prince of Cups is only a prince. This person's not yet a king. So if you're in the dating realm, you have, oh my goodness, this, I feel like this has to do with love. Okay, look at all the cards that came out one after another. This has to do with you currently have the wisdom to be able to know whether the offer is adequate, but I feel like this person's offering from a solid place. Like this person can present like a prince, like, oh yeah, like I really like you, or let's, go out to lunch, or I miss you, I'm thinking about you. Small tokens like that, but they do have the wherewithal to make things solid, like a solid offer versus just like a fantasy and wanting to romance and whisper pretty words. And why do I get that? Is because I have the Four of Staves right here. And this is about a home and a hearth. And, I feel like people, when they listen to readings, they're like, oh, we're going to buy a house together and we're going to, well, maybe not. Maybe it's just being out in the wilderness together. Maybe it's like a retreat. But the Four of Staves is having a solid foundation, whether it's a home, a business arrangement, whatever the case may be. It's all about having your four corners nailed down in such a way that people can stand properly, and you're not building on the precipice of a mountain or, right next to a ditch or anything like that. So I feel like this is solid grounds for you to stand on. There's a need to wipe from your memory and wipe from your emotion the pattern 2020 right here, gaining clarity of the Five of Coins. Maybe the year 2020 has something, big to do. This had something big to do with nearly all of us, I would say. But also 2020 is getting clarity on your vision. That's the best vision possible. Of course, you could be 2015. That's for the eagle eye, and that's a little bit more rare, I'm going to say. But the benchmark would be 2020. And you could be gaining clarity on all of this. Clarity on why sometimes you feel left out, why sometimes you feel abandoned, and why you, in turn, leave other people out or abandon them as well. And this is why there's a great duality of this. But in that as well, I feel like you are finding your victory and your emotional equilibrium. There's a need to look for the past and reconcile that once and for all. Know that you have the strength, the wisdom, and a fortitude to balance yourself out and to really create a barrier against things that don't behoove you, and to open up doors to things that are really there for your benefit. You have the wherewithal, the strength, and the wisdom, to be able to recognize things when they're good and recognize them equally when they are bad and act accordingly. So you don't have to commit one way or another to people or situations. I just feel like you have to trust yourself. This whole reading is about, yes, you being an individual, but it is also about you trusting in who you are. This is about trusting in what you have learned and how you are currently evolving. Everything is about a balance, and that's pile number 3. That, in fact, is what makes you an individual, and that what makes you someone worth knowing. That's what I have for you. If you resonate with this, like, share, comment, subscribe. If you're the creative type, because I feel like that ties into pile number 1, go there if you feel led to. Otherwise, I'll see you at the next reading. Namaste.